And tonight we are diving deep into claims made by a candidate for governor.
He says the group behind one of the political ads is illegally working with the campaign of the current frontrunner to be Oklahoma's next governor.
Mike Mazzei's campaign claims an ad featuring an AI depiction of him and Hillary Clinton was the doing of his opponent, Drummond, and he says it's illegal.
News 4's Spencer Humphrey investigates.
It's only 15 seconds long.
Trump's MAGA movement, crushed by Hillary Clinton if Mike Mazzei got his way.
But this ad attacking Oklahoma gubernatorial candidate Mike Mazzei sure managed to grab a lot of attention.
Mazzei voted to remove Oklahoma from the Electoral College, going to a national popular vote, rigging the system for crooked Hillary.
At a glance, you might think it shows footage of Mazzei and Hillary Clinton hobnobbing in the Oval Office before ending with a big, loving embrace.
Hillary, Clinton lover, Trump hater. That's Mike Mazzei.
But for people with a cynical eye, like former Assistant State Attorney General Tim Gilpin,
when you look at something like that that's generated from nothing,
it's pretty clear to him that ain't footage of Mazzei and Clinton at all. Nope, it's all fake, generated by artificial intelligence.
We're in a whole new era where AI can generate your image, my image, or another, and it looks pretty darn real unless you look close.
Mazzei's campaign thought so too. Hours after that ad began running this week, they put out a press release slamming it, calling the AI-generated video a sleazy attack by a dark money political action committee, or PAC. Now, PACs are groups legally allowed to raise money from whoever they want to run political ads about whatever they want. But Gilpin says PACs
cannot work directly with the candidate. So if they do, well, then there are plenty of laws that violates.
But Mazzei's campaign claims that's exactly what's happening here. In their press release, Mazzei's campaign claims the PAC behind this ad is tied to Drummond, Oklahoma's current attorney general and one of Mazzei's opponents in the Republican primary for governor. We dug into it. The fine print on the ad says the PAC behind it is called Make Oklahoma Great Again. They also run another ad attacking Mazzei and other candidates in the governor's race while praising Drummond.
While liberal never-Trumpers lie about Drummond and talk about what they'll do with President Trump, Drummond, a MAGA man, has already done it.
But does that mean they're actually tied to Drummond? We asked Drummond's campaign. Their chairman sent us a statement saying, in part, the campaign cannot coordinate with outside groups and has no control over advertising created or placed by the Make Oklahoma Great Again PAC. But we still needed to verify for ourselves. The fine print on both of the ads lists an address for Make Oklahoma Great Again. That address comes back to a suite on the 6th floor of this downtown Tulsa office building. We tried paying a visit. Nobody was there. So we tried calling the phone number listed. We left a voicemail.
Hi, this is Spencer Humphrey. I'm a reporter with KFOR-TV in Oklahoma City.
That's when we started looking at the few legal and financial filings available for Make Oklahoma Great Again. According to the group's January campaign finance report, Make Oklahoma Great Again received just one donation, $900,000 from a nonprofit called Oklahoma Leadership Advocacy Group Incorporated, tied to a P.O. box in Glenpool. On that group's website, it offers 3 ways to donate, including mailing a check to that same P.O. box or by coordinating with someone named Jared Breha. We looked him up and found Breha is a former commissioner of the Oklahoma Ethics Commission. We also found Breha is COO of a consulting firm called Camp Political. And as things turn out, Camp Political also runs Drummond's official campaign. If that's a lot to follow, just know this. The COO of the company that Drummond's campaign is paying to run it is the same man that runs the nonprofit single-handedly funding the PAC that's not supposed to be coordinating with Drummond's campaign. Then we got a call from none other than Breha himself.
I thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you.
And he admits he founded and runs Make Oklahoma Great Again, as well as that nonprofit serving as the group's sole donor.
And remind me who that donor was?
Yeah, Oklahoma Leadership Advocacy Group, which I'm also a part of.
He also admits Make Oklahoma Great Again has an affinity for Drummond.
We haven't officially or formally endorsed any one candidate in the race. We obviously do like Drummond. We've ran an ad in support of him.
We asked him about that Mazzei attack ad. How did you make it? Is that AI generated? I mean, that's not really Hillary Clinton and Mike Mazzei hugging, is it?
So there is AI art in the ad. That part is true. And so those are just illustrations. There's always been different ways of artistically illustrating ads. Some people have used cartoons, which are obviously fictional. There will be satire in political advertising.
What if somebody made an AI image of a candidate you support doing something that makes them look bad to voters? Is that okay in your eyes?
Well, I think the question is, how much do you have to like Hillary Clinton to send Oklahoma's votes to Hillary Clinton?
Well, no, actually, my question, to be fair, was not about the content of the ad, but specifically about the use of AI. And are you not worried that this is setting a precedent that could be dangerous in politics?
We're not precedent setting on the use of AI technology in ads. I think that's been out there, and you could find it.
Then we got to the big question at hand. You said that groups like yours are not allowed to collaborate or coordinate it with a candidate or candidates committee in any way. Do I have that right?
You have that correct.
Despite that, Breha confirmed, yeah, he's also the COO of Camp Political, that group running Drummond's campaign.
Yes, I joined a couple months ago.
How is that not coordination?
I mean, it's just a simple answer. I don't advise Gettner Drummond in his campaign. I don't have a hand in that.
He claims he only works on other campaigns Camp Political runs and is not part of their team running Drummond's campaign.
I don't know what their plans are and what they're doing.
Do you put this in writing somehow, or is it just kind of the honor system?
We put procedures in place to block off any of that activity.
What are some of those procedures?
It's everything from strictly there's no electronic communication about the races that I'm a part of. The other part is honoring it to the letter. I mean, we just simply don't discuss it.
In Oklahoma City, Spencer Humphrey, Oklahoma's News 4.
Spencer, thanks. We did ask the Ethics Commission about the legality for someone in Breha's situation.
And they said those questions, quote, require careful review of the particular facts involved, and the commission generally does not speculate on hypothetical situations. The Ethics Commission did tell us there is no legal requirement for groups to disclose political ads with AI images.
That's interesting. Yesterday, Mazzei's campaign did send a cease and desist to Oklahoma TV stations airing that ad with the AI pictures of him and Hillary Clinton. Some stations pulled those ads, including us here at News 4.
And then today, Make Oklahoma Great Again released a new version of the ad, this time with a text disclaimer. The stations are now airing that version instead.
With the disclaimer, meanwhile, the Mazzei campaign did send another statement about an accusation in that ad. Quote, I support the Electoral College. I always have, and I never voted to do away with it. Gettner Drummond has never been known for his strong sense of ethics, but this is a new low even for him.